the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport. Review is one of those conversations that automatically turns heads, because this car isn't just a vehicle, it's a full-blown flex on physics, engineering, and common sense. The moment you hear the name, you already know you're dealing with something outrageous. This is not a car you casually scroll past or compare to anything normal. The Chiron Super Sport exists in a league so far removed from everyday supercars that even calling it a hypercar feels almost understated. It's built for people who want the absolute limit of speed, luxury, and exclusivity, all wrapped into one insanely sculpted machine. First impressions hit hard. The Chiron Super Sport looks longer, sleeker, and more aggressive than the standard Chiron, and that's completely intentional. Bugatti stretched the rear end for better aerodynamics at ultra-high speeds, and the result is a car that looks like it's moving even when it's parked. The lines are smooth but violent, like a fighter jet molded into a street-legal missile. That iconic horseshoe grille still sits front and center, instantly recognizable, letting everyone know this isn't just some exotic car, it's a Bugatti. The Super Sport badge isn't just for show either. It's a warning. Slide around the side and you'll notice the elongated tail and those perfectly sculpted air channels. Every curve has a job. Nothing here is decorative fluff. Bugatti engineers don't do just because it looks cool. If it's there, it's doing something to help this car punch through the air at speeds most cars will never even sniff. The wheels are massive, wrapped in specially developed Michelin tires that are basically aerospace-grade rubber. These tires aren't just expensive. They're essential because at 300 plus MP, normal tires would straight up disintegrate. Climb inside and the Chiron Super Sport immediately switches vibes. Outside it's pure menace, inside it's luxury turned up to 11. This isn't a stripped-out race car that beats you up for the sake of performance. Bugatti doesn't believe in sacrificing comfort. The cabin is wrapped in the finest leather, carbon fiber, and aluminum you can imagine. Everything you touch feels deliberate, solid, and ridiculously premium. The stitching is perfect, the materials smell rich, and the whole interior feels more like a high-end watch boutique than a car. Despite the insane performance numbers, the interior layout is surprisingly calm and clean. Bugatti avoids clutter. There's no giant touchscreen, screaming for attention, or gimmicky digital overload. Instead, you get elegant gauges, a refined center console, and a driver-focused cockpit that makes you feel in control rather than overwhelmed. It's old-school luxury mixed with cutting-edge tech, and somehow it works perfectly. Now let's talk about the heart of this beast, because that's where things get wild. The Bugatti Chiron Super Sport is powered by the legendary 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine. Just reading that sounds excessive, and it absolutely is. This engine produces around 2,600 horsepower, which is honestly a ridiculous number for a road-legal car. Torque figures are equally insane, pushing roughly 180 lb-ft, meaning acceleration feels less like speeding up and more like getting launched by a slingshot. When you press the throttle, the response is immediate and brutal. There's no lag, no hesitation, just pure forward violence. The sound is deep, mechanical, and authoritative, not loud in a cheap way, but powerful in a you should probably respect this way. It doesn't scream like a V12 Ferrari or bark like a Lamborghini. It growls, and that growl means business. The 0-60 MPH time is around 2.3 seconds, which is crazy considering the Chiron Super Sport weighs over 4,000 pounds. That's supercar acceleration in a car that's also built to cruise at highway speeds like a luxury sedan. Keep your foot down and it just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. There's no dramatic drop-off in power. The acceleration feels endless, like the car is offended by the idea of slowing down. Top speed is where the Chiron Super Sport really flexes on the entire automotive world. This thing is electronically limited to around 273 mph, but it's capable of more. Bugatti famously broke records with a near-identical Super Sport prototype hitting over 300 mph, cementing its place in history. This isn't marketing hype. This is documented, verified, mind-melting speed. At velocities where most cars would feel sketchy or unstable, the Chiron Super Sport feels planted, confident, and eerily calm. Handling is another area where Bugatti surprises people. You might expect a car this heavy and powerful to feel clumsy in corners, but it doesn't. Thanks to advanced aerodynamics, active suspension, and all-wheel drive, the Chiron Super Sport handles with shocking precision. It's not a track-focused scalpel like a McLaren or a Porsche GT car. but for something built to dominate straight lines. It corners way better than it has any right to. Steering is precise and weighted just right. You always know what the front end is doing. Even when pushing hard, the chassis feels rock solid. And the car inspires confidence instead of fear, which is saying a lot when you're driving something capable of triple-digit speeds without breaking a sweat. Bugatti tuned the Super Sport to be stable at extreme speeds. And that stability translates beautifully into normal driving conditions. Braking performance is equally impressive. Carbon ceramic brakes. The size of dinner plates haul this monster down from speed with authority. There's no drama, no fade, just controlled deceleration that reminds you this car was engineered with obsessive attention to detail. At high speeds, the rear wing acts as an air brake, adding even more stopping power and stability. One of the most underrated aspects of the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport is how usable it is. Yes, it's absurdly expensive and exclusive, but it's also shockingly easy to drive. You can put it in comfort mode, cruise through the city, and it behaves like a very fast, very expensive luxury car. The suspension smooths out bumps. The transmission shifts seamlessly, and the cabin stays quiet and refined. It doesn't punish you for driving. It like a normal human switch to sport or handling modes, and the personality changes instantly. Throttle response sharpens, suspension stiffens, and the car wakes up like it's been waiting for you to stop playing around. It's like having multiple cars in one, which is exactly what Bugatti was aiming for. You get a luxury Grand Tourer and a record-breaking hypercar in the same package. Of course, ownership is not for the faint of heart. The price tag alone puts the Chiron Super Sport in the multi-million-dollar range. And that's before customization. Bugatti buyers can personalize everything, from paint colors to interior stitching, making each car essentially one of one. Maintenance costs are equally insane. Tires cost more than most cars. Service intervals require specialized technicians. And everything about ownership screams exclusivity. But that's the point. The Bugatti Chiron Super Sport isn't trying to be practical or affordable. It's a statement. It's for people who want the best and don't care what it costs. It's a rolling piece of automotive history, a reminder that humans can still push boundaries in an age where everything feels regulated and limited. In terms of competition, there really isn't much. Cars like the Koenigsegg Jesko, Hennessy Venom F5, and SSC Tuatara live in the same conversation. But Bugatti plays a different game. Where others chase raw speed with lightweight, aggressive designs, Bugatti blends speed with luxury and refinement in a way no one else does. The Chiron Super Sport doesn't just go fast. It goes fast while making you feel like royalty. From an SEO perspective, the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport review checks every box enthusiasts search for. Top speed, 0-60 MPH, horsepower, luxury interior, hypercar performance, exclusivity, and real-world usability all come together in one package. This is a car people dream about, argue about, and obsess over, and for good reason. At the end of the day, the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport isn't just about numbers, even though the numbers are insane. It's about what happens when money, engineering talent, and ambition collide without compromise. It represents the peak of internal combustion performance. In a world rapidly shifting toward electrification, cars like this won't exist forever, which makes the Chiron Super Sport even more special. Driving, or even seeing one in person, feels like witnessing history in motion. It's not subtle, it's not modest, and it doesn't pretend to be anything other than what it is. One of the fastest, most luxurious, and most outrageous production cars ever built. If you're looking for a Bugatti Chiron Super Sport review that keeps it real, the truth is simple. This car is insane, unapologetic, and absolutely legendary.